السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم أجمعين. Welcome back to our live broadcast of Surah Al-Ma'idah. Inshallah, we are going to be continuing from where we left off, which is really kind of a new section in this surah. But of course, it has some connections, which we'll try to point out. The next part is actually going to go into some of the ahkam of the person. Verse 92, refresh our memories, then we'll go directly into our tafsir for verse 94 and beyond. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa afdalu salati wa atammu taslim ala Sayyidina Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam ajma'in. Okay, so let's look at verse number 93, which read ليس على الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات جناح فيما طعموا إذا ما اتقوا وآمنوا وعملوا الصالحات ثم اتقوا وآمنوا ثم اتقوا وأحسنوا والله يحب المحسنين. So remember, we had left off with this verse on Friday, verse number 93, where we spoke about the concern that the Sahaba had for some of their companions that had died before the prohibition of alcohol and had been consuming alcohol till the end of their lives. In fact, as you now well remember, even on the day of the Battle of Uhud, some of the companions had actually drunk alcohol and then became shaheed the very same day. So their companions were concerned after the prohibition of alcohol was revealed as to what was going to happen to these individuals who died having consumed something that after that point had become haram. So this verse that was revealed is actually explaining that there is no reason to fear, there is no blame on these individuals because they had lived their lives, inshallah, as long as they had lived their lives upholding whatever legislation that had been relevant to them in their lifetimes in a state of iman, then this act would not harm them in the hereafter, right? So the translation of that we had given for verse 93 was, there will be no blame on those who believe and do righteous deeds for whatever they might have partaken in the past, as long as they refrain from the prohibited things and persist in their faith and do righteous deeds and continue to refrain from whatever is forbidden and submit to divine commandments and persevere in doing good, fearing Allah. Allah loves those who do good. So this is basically the consolation that is offered to the believers for their companions who had already passed away in that state, and for themselves as well. Even if they had been consuming alcohol, there will be no blame on them as long as they held on to their iman and now fully embraced the new revelation of prohibition and continue to, inshallah, excel in their deeds with ihsan. Wallahu yuhibbul muhsinin. Again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reiterates his love for those who are the muhsinin, for those who are the doers of good. Okay, so here now we want to continue with our new portion, which is verse number 94. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يبلونكم الله بشيء من الصيد تناله أيديكم ورماحكم ليعلم الله من يخافه بالغيب فمن اعتدى بعد ذلك فله عذاب أليم. Okay, so this verse basically means, O you who believe, Allah will surely try you with a game which will be within the range of your hands and lances, so that he might mark out those of you who fear him, even though he is beyond the reach of perception. A painful punishment awaits whosoever transgresses the bounds set by Allah after his firm warning. Okay, so basically this is talking about when a person is in a state of ihram, it is forbidden for them to do a number of things, right? They're not allowed to perfume themselves, and are not allowed to wear anything beyond the two unsewn garments. And one of the prohibitions of ihram, of being in the state of ihram when you're about to perform hajj or you're about to perform umrah, one of the prohibitions of that state is hunting or killing animals for sport or purposes of eating, right? So this obviously is not something that is allowed in this condition. So this is what the verse is talking about, that Allah is going to now test you with bringing this game. By game we mean the hunted animals that are hunted for, let's say, eating. They're going to be brought very close within your range in order to, and this is obviously a test, right? It is obviously going to be a test. So here the trial is set by making it very, very tempting and easy to attain the game. So it would be very much within their reach. So here we learn that this is part of the nature of a test, right? That the prohibited thing, that which is forbidden, has an attraction to it, right? It has an allure. And it would be very tempting because of this ease of being able to attain it. This is part of what makes something that is prohibited such a trial for the individual, is because it has this ability to be attained easily, right? That option of sin is always open. It is accessible. It is there for the taking. So when, in spite of the ease of its procurement, right, which applies totally to this verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about how this game, these hunted animals, are totally going to be brought within your reach, right, as a trial, as a test to see who abstains or not. This we can apply to the nature of all sin, right? Sin is always an option, unfortunately, right? It's always there to indulge in, to fall into, right? But in spite of it being an option, in spite of it being available, right? Of us being able to do it and us wanting to do it at times, right? Still, if we abstain, and this is what builds spiritual muscle. When you train your consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whom you cannot see. This is, I've just been informed that we're having some technical problems with the broadcast. So I'm going to interrupt myself here and log in again. So just stay right there. Just wait for the broadcast to replay, inshallah, and we'll continue from where we left off. So just logging out for a minute. Just